Hello Divas and Divos, welcome back to my channel. I am Nikki, your deal finding diva, and this is your ACX update. What's up y'all? So, as a lot of you already know, I did my first audiobook and it actually got released in September. I am here to give you an update. Since a lot of you have been DMing me and trying to get a little tidbit of information on the side, I'm going to answer a lot of the questions that you want to know, including have I gotten paid, how much I've gotten paid, was it worth it, and where I am in the process when it comes to my second audiobook. But before we jump into this video, I just got to quickly show some love. So we're going to jump into this incredible video in just a moment. But first, I have to shout out the comment of the week. Thank you so much for your positivity and for supporting your girl. And I know a lot of you are in the comments like, how can I be featured? Well, it's really, really easy. All you have to do is comment on this video or another video that I post this week, or head on over to my Instagram and comment on a post over there, or tag me on your IG story. And don't forget to tag me at Deal Finding Diva and follow me too. All right, Divas and Divos, let's just jump into this video. So if you're not familiar, I did my first audiobook. I narrated and produced my very first audiobook called Lil Red Ryder, an Urban Fairytale, book 3. And I'm going to link it down below just in case you want to get it. I know a lot of you have questions as to what it sounds like. So if you want to know what it sounds like, I suggest you get it. And the backstory to that is I landed that audiobook on my very first audition, and the author actually gave me a second contract for a second audiobook off of that one audition. So yes, 2 audiobooks, 1 contract, 1 try, 1 audition. A lot of people are thinking I'm like the guru of ACX. I will tell you, I am not. I'm just somebody that decided to go out on a limb and try something that I never tried before. And I'm sharing that process with you. So to give you an update where I am in the process on the second audiobook, I am actually just starting it because we actually took a break. Like, the author was okay with me taking a break and everything. I have a lot going on. So she actually suggested that I take a break and then go into the next audiobook. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, I've actually recorded using Final Cut Pro, which is what I use to edit my YouTube videos. This time around, I'm actually going to try Audacity, because what I did was I transferred my audio from Final Cut Pro into Audacity anyway, because they have something called an ACX Checker. It's a little plugin that they have, and it makes sure that your audio is up to par with ACX. I shouldn't say that they make sure. I should say that they help you meet the criteria for ACX, because the criteria for ACX is very strict. So the equipment, I'm not changing the equipment from what I mentioned last time. So the headphones, the microphone, the stand, and the box. I'm also going to link the equipment that I use below. I try to keep my costs as low as possible. And like I've mentioned before, my microphone is on the higher end because it was actually gifted to me. I didn't pay for that. So I do link it down below, but I also have let you all know, if you click on the link, it will take you over to Amazon, and Amazon will also suggest some microphones that have lesser cost, but just make sure you check the reviews on the products before you get them, okay? I did have some people that seem to not listen and assume that I'm saying go buy expensive stuff, which I've said many, many times over, that you shouldn't go buy something expensive until you know that you're going to stick with it. I have said that many, many times. To reiterate, don't go spending too much money unless you know that you're going to stick with it. The main thing is to make sure you have something that's quality. Try to balance that out. And like I've said many, many times before, you want your audio to be up to par when you're auditioning, because nobody's going to really want to hear something that isn't up to par, because the author has their name on the line. But think about it. If it comes down to me auditioning with my equipment versus you recording something in voice memo on your phone and then trying to send it over to them, which one do you think that they're going to go with? There are so many options out there for quality equipment that won't break the bank. So just use the links below. If you don't want those particular things, there are cheaper options for many of them, okay? So when it comes down to when I got paid. I got paid for the first time at the end of November. So my book came out in September. The way that it works is they will pay you the month after the first full month that your book goes on sale. So my book went on sale in September. That wasn't a full month. Therefore, I got paid in November. A lot of you have been messaging me trying to find out, how much did you get paid? So like I've mentioned before, I got a royalty deal. I didn't do Royalty Plus. Royalty Plus is the best deal out there. I didn't get that. I got a royalty deal. And there's an option to get paid just the flat rate and not the royalties. But also with royalty, you get paid up to 7 years. But when it comes down to how much I got paid, my cut broke down to $2 per book. So this is where sales become very important when it comes to royalty deals, because when it comes down to it, you're not getting paid that much money per book. But if you and the author can push that book enough, then you will make out with a nice check. But if you don't, and people only buy 1 or 2 of your books, then you're going to end up with like $2 or $4 a month. Also, if you have a big following, that can help you as well. Or if the author has a big following, because people already know about you and they're going to buy that book on the strength just to support or the expectation from previous work. I just wanted to give you that idea. But think about it. For musicians, they're getting paid even less for spins on a song. Okay, so yes, that's what royalty is. It's not going to be a whole big chunk of change. You're not going to get paid $5 or $10 per book. But with royalty, that's how it works. You get paid a small portion based off of how much is sold. So keep that in mind. And the way that I got paid was via direct deposit. They put it in my bank account. I had already linked my bank account. So a lot of people were questioning like, oh, is it okay for me to put my information in here? Like, I really don't know how you expect to get paid if you don't put your information in there. ACX is connected with Amazon. So if you're willing to put your bank account information or your credit cards into Amazon, then like, why not put it into ACX? They're the same company. To answer the question of was it worth it? A lot of people have been asking me that. So at this point, it's still early on. My first check was actually bigger than I expected it to be. So that was a good thing. And again, this was the first month that I got paid. So I still have 6 years and 11 months to still make royalties from this audiobook. Think about this. There's a situation that I know about where somebody actually wrote a book. They wrote this book. It made no sales. They posted it on, I think it was on Amazon, and it got no sales. A few years later, a professor was teaching a class, and all of a sudden the person that wrote the book got all these sales. It was because that book was required reading from that professor. To assume that because your book doesn't sell well in the beginning, that it won't sell well later on, or vice versa, that is something that you will never know unless your book is actually out there. Think about it. There are so many book clubs out there. You never know if the book that you do will be suggested in a book club. And a lot of people that buy physical books or buy ebooks, a lot of times they want that audiobook version so that they can listen in the car or while they're working out. So you got to keep that in mind. Just because it doesn't do well in the beginning doesn't mean that it won't do well later on. That is the reason why you have 7 full years to make your money off of this book. But if you don't listen to anything else I say, please take this away. A lot of people are asking detailed questions from me about how much I'm making or other details of do I think it's worth it and things like that. Your journey is your journey. I provide the information just to give you an idea of what it's like to do the audiobook journey. But your journey is going to be your journey, nobody else's, okay? So if I make 1 million sales and then I come on here and say, oh, I made 1 million sales and I made hundreds of thousands of dollars, that will falsely make a lot of you think like, oh, I can make that amount of money too. I don't like to do that because it's not fair, it's not right, and it's not ethical. And say if I was to only make 5 book sales and then I come on here and say, oh, well, I didn't make any money from it. Oh, you shouldn't do it. That's not fair either, because you might have a gem of a book and you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So again, your journey is going to be your journey. please keep that in mind. Please don't come to me as the poster child for doing audiobooks and this is an expectation. No, I'm providing an idea and an experience, not an expectation. So please just keep that in mind. But I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope I answered your questions. Again, please check out my ACX playlist if you have any more questions or want to see more stuff in detail, because chances are I already covered it in previous videos, okay? So I do appreciate you all for watching, and please don't forget to thumbs up this video and also subscribe and turn on your notifications if you have not done so already, okay? So I'm gonna peace out in this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.